There are so many skincare products in the market today that it can be overwhelming trying to figure out which ones to buy, which ones will work for you, and which ones will not. These marketing execs could sell ice to an Eskimo. So that is why I am here. I want to break down every single step in your skincare routine and explain to you how to properly choose ingredients and products that will serve you and be worth your money versus tossing money into things that aren't going to give you the best bang for your buck. So today and this week's episode of Skincare Sundays is all about toners. We spoke about the first step in our skincare routine last week in terms of cleansers, and now I want to move on to toners. Now, not everyone uses toners. It's an often just overlooked part of the skincare routine because obviously it is a step that seems unnecessary, but I'm going to explain to you what toners are, what they can do for you, and how to pick the best one for your skin type to benefit your needs. So if that interests you, then just keep on watching. So if it wasn't confusing enough that there's hundreds of skincare items on shelves for you to choose from, toners specifically also come under so many different names and descriptors. They are called toners, essences, astringents, 100 other names, but they're all essentially the same thing. So toners came about in the 1900s, and at the time they were very alcohol-based, which made them very dry. They did additionally have other antiseptics such as witch hazel and tincture of benzoin and hydrating properties, but less so. And these were things like rosewater extract and glycerin, as well as perfumes to add a fragrance to the substance. The alcohol, like I mentioned, was always a big component of these mixtures because it was noted that it had an astringent-like property, meaning it made your skin feel like it was tightening. And this was because of the drying effects, but people felt like it was because blood was flowing to the skin surface, and at the time we didn't know that pores don't open and close, so people thought that this was tightening their pores, when really it was just dehydrating the skin and making it feel tight. Then over time, people also discovered the antiseptic properties were keeping their breakouts at bay, and this was just an additional bonus. But the alcohol content and the drying effects that accumulated over time greatly outweighed any benefits seen from the antiseptic side of things. So at this point, toners, astringents, what have you, they were basic, they were simple, and people didn't really understand the full science behind them. But now they come in all shapes and sizes, and they get targeted to specific skin needs. So the most common use for a toner is as a secondary cleansing method, because quite often our cleansing methods are insufficient and we are left with not only cleanser residue but also makeup, dirt, debris, pollution that the cleansing process didn't get rid of. And for this reason, toners come into play where they're a last minute sweep of anything that may remain on your skin surface so that your skin is really squeaky clean in a good way and prepared to absorb all the ingredients that you're going to apply afterwards. Without proper cleansing, like we discussed in my last Skincare Sundays video, not only does our skin not feel good, but it doesn't look good either. It may be fine in the short term, but in the long run, leaving things on your skin that shouldn't be there will go deeper into your skin. They'll get impacted. And what happens when you get impaction of dirt on your skin? You cause this texture to form, which is unsightly, and it just doesn't make you feel very good, and it doesn't allow your skin to look very good either. Additionally, toners are so useful in rebalancing our pH. They go hand in hand with our cleansing products to make sure that our skin stays within its happy, slightly acidic state. And we discussed why pH is so important for skin health in our last video, so that'll be linked at the end of the video and also down below. So if you want more information, you can check that out. But yes, toners add to this process, help in their own little way to make sure that our skin stays in that happy place where it can both keep the good things in and keep the bad things out. Toners are great for hydrating the skin. Think of your skin like a sponge. When a sponge is dry and you add water to it, it takes a while for it to soften up and actually absorb the water. Otherwise, the water just sits on top. But if you have a wet sponge, then any water you add additionally gets soaked up right away. And that's exactly how our skin works. It drinks up water when it's already hydrated. So when you apply a toner to your skin, you are hydrating your skin so that the moisturizers or serums that you apply afterwards get adequately absorbed. Otherwise, they kind of just sit on the outside and don't give you their full benefit. All of this combined works on delaying skin damage and aging for as long as possible. When our skin is working properly, it can keep in the essential fatty acids, the hydration, and the lipids that our skin wants to keep inside and keep out the bacteria, the toxins, the pollutants, what have you. Toners also give our skin the appearance of tightened pores. And I say appearance because pores don't actually open and close. But if the surrounding skin is more plump, then it makes sense that the pores will look a little bit tightened also. And along with the other benefits, if a pore is clean from the inside, it won't look as dark and pitted as if it was clogged up. So toners today come in all shapes and sizes. They can be runny like water or thick and lotion like with a more gel consistency. You can also use them in multiple ways. You can spray them all over your face and let it sink in. You can apply it to a cotton swab and swipe that all over your face. Or you can pour it into your hand and splash it and pat it onto your skin surface so that none of the product goes to waste. And the difference between all these methods is really up to you. It's what you want from the process. Obviously, when you are applying a toner onto a cotton swab and then swiping it all over your face, you're losing some of the product in the cotton swab, but you're gaining exfoliation, an extra cleansing step, and this is ideal for some people. But if you are pouring it into your hand or spraying it onto your face, then obviously your skin is absorbing all of the benefits of the product. You're not losing any, but you're not getting the cleansing step. So really, you get to pick and choose what you want to do. You can do one or the other or both. One thing that you do want to remember is how I explain that there are different consistencies of toner. You always want to apply within each category of product your items from runniest to thickest. So if it's the toner, you want to go in with your runny water-like toner first, and then if you are using a second one that's more lotion or gel-like, then go in with that second. And the same thing applies across all different skincare categories. Like for example, if you're using a hydrating product, you want to use runny serums first and then thicker lotions after, or oils first and then thicker lotions after. So let's get right into different skin types and which toner to use for each one. Starting with oily skin. So if you have oily skin, you want to use a toner with astringent properties because you want to break down that oil, but you still want to stay away from alcohol because it's overdrying. What overdrying can do is cause rebound oiliness, so we're back at square one. We want to stay away from that, and it's easy to do because there's so many non-alcohol astringents on the market that if you could stay away from it, why not? So you want to look for things that are gentle but effective. Ingredients like witch hazel, tea tree oil, AHAs, and BHAs. Now, AHAs and BHAs stand for alpha hydroxy acids and beta hydroxy acids. Both are gentle exfoliants, and they work on different layers of the skin. So AHAs work on the upper surfaces of your skin to exfoliate dead skin, promote its turnover, and reveal a radiant complexion underneath. And AHAs include things like glycolic acid, lactic acid, and citric acid. Now BHAs go much deeper into the layers of your skin, and the only BHA is salicylic acid. What salicylic acid does is it will go deep into the root of a pore and just clean it out. It will provide antibacterial effects and kill the bacteria that's brewing down there, because eventually when your skin starts regenerating, bottom layers of your skin come up as the top is sloughed away. It develops from the bottom and it rises. So if a pore is clogged down here, over time, as the skin exfoliates away, that pore is going to come to a head. So you want to use things like salicylic acid, especially if you have oily skin, because you have a tendency most likely towards clogged pores and acne, and salicylic acid or BHAs can go deep into that pore and clean it out so that it never comes to an inflamed head. My absolute favorite, and I have used this myself, is the Ole Henriksen Balancing Force Oil Control Toner. Ole Henriksen himself used to suffer with cystic acne, and he tried so many products. This is obviously a story that I've heard, but he tried so many products that would not work for him, and they would over dry his skin or aggravate it more. And so he developed his own toner, this one in particular, and it cured him. So when I had cystic acne about a year ago, it's what I used as well. And for the first time in my life, I had acne all along my jaw and my neck even. And it was popping up on my chest, and I had no idea what was happening. It was a combination of soy not agreeing with me because I was having way too much sushi, and cystic acne from hormones and stress. So I used this, and it really, really did wonders. This in combination with the cleanser, but the toner is really great. It contains not only AHAs and BHAs, but also green tea, eucalyptus, kelp, and Irish moss. And all of these things are not only awakening to the senses, but they're also soothing to irritation, and just incredible products to have in a toner. Another one, which is on the more affordable side of things, is the Innisfree BHA Trouble Skin Toner. And this contains salicylic acid and torreya seed extract, and both of these work hand in hand to help soothe the skin and control blemishes. If you have oily skin, sometimes you also suffer with large pores. And there's two things. So number one, you could have large pores on their own, but large pores look larger when they're clogged. So AHAs and BHAs are even amazing for large pored individuals, because the salicylic acid will really work on declogging those pores so that they don't look so dark and pitted. And the AHAs will help draw hydration to the skin, and like I mentioned earlier, it will make the pore appear smaller because the surrounding skin is so plump. Now, if you have drier skin, you especially want to stay away from alcohols, and you want to pick toners with ingredients like hyaluronic acid or glycerin. You also might want to opt for toners with more of a lotion or gel-like consistency, because they will be more hydrating, or things like a splash essence, since you're quite literally splashing water and hydration onto your skin without it getting lost in a cotton pad or anything else. So of all the product suggestions I'm going to be making in this video's totality, this is by far the most expensive, and of course it is the SK2 Facial Treatment Essence, and it comes from one of the best-selling skincare lines in Asia. The product is iconic, and honestly, it's incredible. It has been sitting in the market unchanged for about 35 years, and it's because it contains over 90% Pitera. So Pitera is a really, really cool ingredient. Basically, back in the 1970s, scientists noted a remarkable difference between the wrinkled faces of aged sake brewers and their youthful, soft hands. And so they started doing research into over 350 different yeast strains which were present in the sake fermentation process. And the same yeasts were obviously then what the sake brewers' hands were submerged in during the process. And from that, they discovered a mixture of yeasts that they named Pitera. So this became a huge ingredient in the Asian glass skin movement. It gives you this translucency that is impossible to describe. It looks like your skin is just the softest thing that exists. And I actually got a sample from Sephora, and for that week, I swear to you, pretty instantly, my skin looked more hydrated and youthful and refreshed than it has maybe ever in my entire lifetime. So there has to be a reason why people are regularly willing to dish out upwards of 200 Canadian dollars for this treatment essence. It is really that good. But if you are not wanting to dish out those dollars, then another excellent option is the Fresh Deep Hydration Facial Toner. And this product contains incredible ingredients like rose water, rose fruit extract, and angelica leaf extract. And the bottle, the product, is just as beautiful to use as it feels. The liquid is actually or rose petals are submerged in the liquid, and so it's just a really pleasant experience to add this to your routine. This, however, is still on the higher end of things, so an even more affordable option, and one that I use myself, is the Thayer's Witch Hazel. I use the rose one specifically. This one is a bestseller, not only because it's affordable, but because it's suitable to all skin types. It uses aloe vera and witch hazel as a baseline, and then each different type adds on a different ingredient. So like I said, use the rose one. There's also lavender, coconut water, and lemon, I believe. And then there's also scent-free versions for those of you who are averse to fragrances. Next, if you have normal or even sensitive skin, you want to use something that is pretty natural or not too complicated on the ingredient front and is going to work on rebalancing your pH or making sure that your pH stays balanced and hydrating your skin. Really, any toner with good humectants or water drawing ingredients will work. And specifically if you have sensitive skin, then you want to look for ingredients that are calming and gentle, like aloe vera or chamomile. So one that I like specifically is The Ordinary's glycolic acid 7% toning solution. And I like this because not only is the formulation pretty simple, but along with the AHA glycolic acid, it also contains a Tasmanian pepperberry extract to help offset any irritation that can arise with the use of acid. So it's the perfect balance and toner for sensitive skin types. And finally, within the same general category of normal skin, if you have dull skin, and this is the category that I fall into, you want to use AHA still, but you want to specifically look for lactic acid and other ingredients like vitamin C or brightening exfoliating enzymes like those derived from papaya. My absolute favorite toner of all time is the Ulla Henriksen Glow 2O Dark Spot Toner. I was sent this by Ulla Henriksen and influenced her to review, but I will repurchase it as soon as I run out, which is soon. This product, I can't say enough good things about this product because it's truly remarkable. The instant that I used it for the first time, not only was the scent so nice and it didn't irritate my skin despite the fact that it does contain AHAs, but it gave me this instant youthful radiance that I've only ever seen with that SK2 essence. And my skin looked dewy and hydrated as if I had applied a serum or a moisturizer when I hadn't. I had just applied that. It also helps clean any remaining makeup or pollution that may be on my skin. Sometimes I have it left over in my hairline, and it's really great to get that off, or I swipe it down my neck and it just does such a thorough job of cleansing whatever remains of my skin that my cleanser hasn't gotten rid of. And in the morning, I wake up with my fine lines plumped, my skin looking really bouncy and healthy and bright, and any texture that I have has completely been taken away by this toner. I quite often get texture on my nose or around my mouth, and when I stop using this toner, it comes back, and when I go back to using it, it goes away instantly. So I don't think that I will ever be without this toner as long as I have those skin issues, and I truly, truly love it. So all in all, our toner is going to really make or break your skincare routine? Probably not, but say you're doing everything right and you still feel like you're not getting the results that you want, instead of shoveling money into changing up the products that you're already using, try keeping those products in rotation and adding in a middle step of toning between your cleansing and your treating. What this will do is not only make sure that the products that you already have in your arsenal are giving you the best bang for your buck, but it will also add an additional cleansing, and it'll help those products get better absorbed. So really, it's a win-win situation, and it's such an easy step to add into your routine anyways that there's no reason not to. The reason why I mentioned various cost levels of toners is because honestly, I feel like generally a lot of them do the exact same thing. And so you don't have to spend a lot of money on them either. You can find one that's within your budget and it will work for you. And if you're like me and skincare is kind of meditative for you, then it is really nice to have this be a part of your routine, whether you use it day or night. At night, it's really nice to know that you're going to bed with your treatment products fully absorbing into your skin and giving you all the benefit they can give you, and making sure your skin is really, really squeaky clean in the best way. And in the morning, it's so nice to have a beautifully cleansed palette to apply makeup on or just enter your day with. So it's a really simple step. It's often overlooked, but it can make a world of difference. So if you are at a point where things aren't working for you, but you're using all the right products, then I highly suggest going through that list of recommended toners, choosing one, and giving it a try. Okay, that is all for today's video. I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully it was actually short and sweet this time. Please let me know what you thought. Engage with me in the comments below and let me know if you're enjoying this or not enjoying this, if I should continue or not, and what specifically you would like me to talk about in the future. Like, share, and subscribe if you so wish. But until next time, I will see you. Bye. Mwah.
Old folks talking about back in my day, but homie, this is my day. Class started 2 hours ago. Oh, am I late? No, I already graduated, and you can live through anything if magic made it.